Waste to energy concept is the concept for residual waste, so the sink solution for waste. So after recycling, sorting, reusing, upcycling, there's always a fraction left. This fraction goes into waste to energy facility, and literally you incinerate it, you get the heat you use for making electricity or steam or any form of energy. If you landfill this waste, which is happening right now with millions and millions of tons every day, it's got a huge greenhouse gas effect. So if you incinerate this with a very clean flue gas treatment, only one plant, instead of dumping the waste in a landfill but going to one of our facilities, we save more CO2 than 27 million trees. So our calculation is one facility, you can plant trees around the equator every 1.5 meters.
The beauty of wrapping a machine is something that any architect would like to do once in a lifetime at least. It is such a clean thing to design, and there's no end user, there's no windows, there's no one living there. So it is something fascinating about a machine and covering it. The machine that Everd's company developed is a huge machine that you would normally only see in an industrial area. And we think this technique is so interesting and so important for as a climatological solution that we think it should do much more than just be this waste facility. It should also be a place where you can go with your children to have a look, or to have dinner, or to learn something about waste and recycling and upcycling. We decided when we worked on it as a team that we think it shouldn't be a building because it's so huge that making a building that is almost it's the wrong scale. So we said, let's make a landscape project, because also generating a park in or under which this facility is developed is a much more interesting concept. So if you look at this building from the front, it will read like a factory. But if you look at it from the side, it will read like a park. You won't even really realize that there is a factory underneath. It's a concept that should work in any site in the world. So we developed a concept that is flexible, and it will always kind of look the same, as in you will clearly see its design, but it is very flexible. You can add or take away partners, because these are often companies that come additional to the process, and they need a space also. And you can build it, and you can extend this building as much as you want, and you can adapt it as one factory might be next to a river, and the other one might be in the mountains, and another one might be next to a forest. And there you need to kind of be able to adapt it to the location, and this is a very adaptable concept. So that was the main problem, but also the main solution at the same time.
Waste is something that people don't want anymore, right? That's why it's waste. And we are turning this into stuff that people want, like electricity, but also products, gypsum, concrete, bricks. So we try to reuse and use the waste. How beautiful is it if you can also use the facility itself? So We are not architects, but I met Bas on the other side of the world, and he came up with a concept that even the facility itself is something that people want to use. So that's the beauty of his concept, I think.
The future is inclusivity. So if you build this building for instance, in India, you want it to be there for the people also. So it should also provide for places to work, jobs. It should generate jobs, and this is what it does. It generates jobs, but it also becomes more and more efficient in its process. So at some point, we will be able to capture the CO2 from the chimney, put the CO2 in a greenhouse on site, and use whatever grows in the greenhouse in a restaurant. And the restaurant is being used by the public, by the people from the city, by anyone. So that, I think, is a future. It is not an industry area. It is something that is part of a larger city, something to use. And so it's not like a heavy industry, but it's more like a recreational solution in general.
It's going to be more like eco parks, and that's what I also like about the concept of Bas. That it's, there's going to be more sorting, more upcycling. Different technologies will evolve. Right now, we are thinking about diaper recycling in Amsterdam and Italy. This is being developed, but you can have recycling of electrical waste. What about all the carbon that comes from cars, windmills? There's no real good solution for that. So that might all be integrated on this one location where you produce the energy yourself, but you need all of these different modules on site. So the park could extend. That's what I think. And then it's really an eco park, but it's a real park at the same time.